This is my current physique after just over 12 months of bulking. I've made some decent strength and size gains with fairly inconsistent training, as it's been on and off with gyms and I've travelled in between. I wanted to make some content while I'm cutting, mainly for some accountability and just to help people out really while they're trying to get lean.
So a bit about me. Started lifting when I was about 16 years old. I had an old bench in the garden with some rusty weights, a couple of dumbbells, and I was doing that for around 2 years. I then joined the local gym. It was decent. It had a few machines, never had benches and stuff, it was more Smith machines. The dumbbells went up to about 30k, and within a couple of years I plateaued with the weights due to them being too light and stuff like that. Anyway, fast forward to 2017, I went travelling around Asia for 6 months. As you can see from this picture, this was at the end of the trip. I'd lost any muscle I had on me and I gained a beer gut, mainly due to a poor diet. Not much protein due to getting sick a few times from it, and I was drinking beers every night. Never trained once in the whole 6 months. I then came to Australia and I found out about macros and stuff through a friend. We was training in a calisthenics park by where we lived, all bodyweight type stuff, and we were using bands. After I learned about macros and calories, I went on a cut for around 4 months. And as you can see here from this picture, I made some decent progress. I got down to 142 pounds, I think, and to be honest, I got a bit over obsessive with food, but it sort of taught me that I knew next time when I wanted to cut that I've got the tools to be doing it. Pretty much maintained my leanness. Again, was just training with bands. So I finished that previous cut in December 2017, and then I went to work on some farms in Australia. The job I was working on the farm was 10-hour shifts. I was working every day, walking up and down basically. So my activity level was high, so it was quite easy to maintain a decent level of leanness. And the next picture is in Dubai in July 2018. This was on my way home back to the UK. I'd only put on about 4 pounds at this point. So I was around, I was about 146 pounds. But then I decided that I needed to go into a surplus due to the fact my maintenance calories were so low from that previous cut and taking it to the extreme. So I've been in a surplus for around just over a year. It hasn't been the most consistent training either. On this bulk, I've gained around 35 pounds. I'd done a bit of travelling in between. I didn't have access to gyms, so it wasn't the best, but I come back to Australia in April and joined a gym. And I've been training consistently for around 3 to 4 months, doing a push-pull leg split 6 days a week. And I've made some decent gains. My strength shot up, the strongest I've ever been. But now I'm gonna jump into a cut as the weather's getting better here now. And to be honest, my jeans and stuff aren't fitting me great. So my fat seems to sit around my stomach, which isn't the best place for it to be. But I'm quite happy with the results, considering after Asia how bad I looked. I've gained some of that size back over time. But what I can say is when you stop training, it's not as easy as people say to put it back on. So I'll quickly run through the bulk with you. So what I'd recommend with either cutting or bulking is you need to track your weight. It's better to track every day or at least a few days a week and take an average. Once a week's not going to be good enough because weight fluctuates. So this is when I started bulking in July last year. I was 148 pounds when I started. That was a few weeks after coming back from Dubai. I was gaining on 2,200 calories, which is pretty low. Some people maintain on higher calories than that. But as I said, I think my metabolism was a bit messed up from taking the last cut a bit too far. And I quickly started gaining weight here through August and September. I then went away for 4 weeks on holiday to see some family. I wasn't tracking my weight or what I was eating, but I was just eating as much as I could. Training wasn't great. I was working out in a hotel gym and swimming and stuff, but I ended up gaining a few pounds there. And then I started labouring for my brother's landscaping business. The problem was my activity level was so high, I had to bump up my calories to 3.6, 3.8 because I was burning so many calories from working. And to be honest, I haven't really got a big appetite to eat that much, and I was really struggling. My weight was going up and down week to week, so it was quite hard to bulk. And at this stage, I was just working out in the house with some weights to add. By the end of the year, in 24 weeks, I gained 15 pounds, which is pretty much half a pound a week, which I was quite happy with, considering I was struggling to get the calories in because of my appetite and stuff. And then diving into this year, I continued that for a bit. Work wasn't great through the winter, so I was working on and off through January and February. And as you can see, I lowered my calories to supplement this, and I was still gaining at a really slow rate at this point. But then I had my flight booked to come back to Australia via a few other places beforehand. I went to Norway, Thailand and Japan, and I was travelling for 8 weeks. And as you can see here, I was 169 pounds when I left. And when I arrived in Australia, it dropped down to 165 pounds. I wasn't tracking what I was eating. Obviously I wasn't weighing myself and stuff, and my activity level was so high, as when we were away we were walking everywhere and stuff. I ended up losing £5, and now coming into when I got to Australia, I've jumped from 165 to 176. Weirdly, I was gaining on just staying on 3,000 calories. Due to it being winter in Australia, my activity level hasn't been that high, apart from going to work. Normally, I'd be out walking about, because that's what I like to do, down the beach and stuff, but I've kept that to a minimum over the last few months, and now it's starting to warm up. I'm going to start higher my activity level, walking about and stuff, and obviously, while I'm cutting, that'll help to keep my calories higher. The whole point in these numbers is just to show that you do need to be tracking your weight and what you're eating. I hope this video has explained a bit about me and the process, but in the next one, I'll show you how to work out your macros and your calories.